yesterday was just hell. We're going to be doing a pre-visualization. Jesus Christ, make my life hard, why don't you? It's time to go and recce some locations. Welcome to episode 18 of my vlog. Joining me straight away on Tuesday in my office, and stressed is a understatement of how I'm feeling right now. Just overwhelmed with the amount of things I need to get done. Yesterday was just hell. It was like from the crack of dawn until I was passing out, falling asleep, just work back to back to back, trying to keep up to date with everything. At the moment, we've got a load of projects all kicking off at the same time, and it's a lot to manage. Obviously, the team are all distributed in different ways, handling different things, but I'm sort of the glue between all of it. So I'm trying to manage that whilst also working on a lot of different quotes for some new projects that I'm trying to work through at the moment. To get into today we're going to be doing a pre-visualization of a project that we've got coming up. For those of you who don't know, a pre-vis is essentially where you shoot the project as planned, as storyboarded, in a very rough and ready way, using yourselves in place of the talent, which obviously can look a bit bodge and funny, but it genuinely is a really, really useful tool in filmmaking because it can allow you to understand pacing, timing, if the concept feels good, works, flows. It's just a useful thing we found in the past when doing our sort of spec ad projects or even our own ad. We've done pre-vises and it's been extremely valuable, and we felt that it was valuable for this project in particular. So we're doing that today, which should be fun. But outside of that, I'm also just trying to keep on top of all of this stuff I need to get on with. I've got a little bit of admin now to do for an hour that I'm going to try and knock out as much as I can before we start filming for the rest of the day. It's a busy time. It's obviously amazing, but yeah, I can't help but feel very overwhelmed, and I'm trying to not burn myself out. Right, I'm gonna crack on with some admin, get this out of the way, and then we can get into pre-vis time. Okay, so...
Watch the film.
What's that?
Don't get the reference. You don't get it, sir.
What, Batman? I've seen them films, I know what you're on about. Yeah, that reference from that film, from, let me guess, Batman Begins. Right.
This guy hasn't watched any of the Batman films.
I have watched all of the Batman films, so don't come after me. This guy hasn't seen Legend.
I haven't.
Or Gentleman. Right, so we've got to do the previs of the football scenes. It says wide shot, football pitch. Okay, this is our football pitch. Okay, cool. Right, now I'm going to get dialogue from Brother One.
Did you hear what happened in Mrs. Thompson's class today?
Don't tell me Jamie's...
Okay, cool. All right, let me get some shots of the ball being kicked about. Jesus Christ. Make my life hard, why don't you?
Oh, my shoe, look at that.
Oh shit.
My shoe.
Oh no. Oh no.
Alright, enough talk.
Well, he thinks he's got skills, does he? Come on then.
Action! I'm starving.
Oh, me too. What, you actually bought that?
Oh, sorry.
What, you actually bought that?
What's wrong with it? It's solid.
That's weird.
This is elite, mate.
This is weird.
Mate, we're chatting
Don't forget these, man.
I don't need that, I need some of it. Welcome to Wednesday. Stressed doesn't even begin to explain the way I feel at the moment. I've got so much to do, and this morning I haven't even got time to make a coffee, so energy drinks is what it's going to be. Last night was again another night where I worked until I passed out. Just Monday and Tuesday this week have been like wake up, work until you pass out, fall asleep, and then do it all again. Feeling so stressed. There's just so much going on, which is awesome. There's so many projects, but there's this one core project in the middle of everything that is absorbing time. It's the big short film project that I've been alluding to over the last couple of episodes. This week is all about pre-production. To give you guys some context, it's a rapid, and I mean like rapid turnaround on this one. For something of this size, of this budget, it is extremely tight to turn around. This is pre-production week, next week is production week, week after that's post-production, and then we've got one more week left after that just to finish it off, I guess. Pre-production is certainly something that is a massive task on a project like this. I mean, on most projects it's quite big, but this project has so many moving parts and we've got so much responsibility in terms of things we need to do. Yesterday we sat together and like we plotted it out, or I plotted out in ClickUp, and we had it all like, you know, set and ready of what all the jobs are that need to happen. But as we sort of are getting into it, we're noticing like intricate things that need to be done. For example, we didn't anticipate needing to find certain props or costumes and things like that. And in the end, so this is kind of like the high level list that we've got. So we need to do our previs, which you saw we started yesterday. We're going to finish that today. It's also going to be somewhat mostly edited today. And then as it's being edited, we'll be able to quickly reshoot or get quick extra bits just to sort of see how it's flowing. And we need to do locations. So an issue we found so far is, so the budget for this project, as I say, is very tight. We are essentially donating time towards this, but I'm treating it as if it were a spec project that for once we're not losing money on, which is cool. But it just, yeah, because it's low budget, we did communicate with our client that we want them to take responsibility over certain aspects, for example, locations, because there's no budget for locations, but they have some good connections locally and they could help us leverage that and hopefully source some locations for very cheap or free. However, so far, no real luck on that. And as the shoots are next week, we really, really need to crack on. So we are kind of not taking the reins, but we've got a lot more input on that at the moment, where we're trying to help, which is obviously not what we had billed for or anticipated. So that's extra time we're having to fit in. But in addition to that, sourcing them, we're obviously going to have to recce them as well. So that's more time. Talent. So we put out a casting call on Monday. I think there's like hundreds of applicants already, which is ridiculous. We need to obviously review those applicants, shortlist them, and then ask them to do some self-tapes. Scripting, we've got a rough script that Darren has put together, but we're going to have that sort of tweaked and finalised by Hannah, as she is phenomenal with copywriting. Agendas and call sheets and all those things have got to be done. We've done a storyboard, but it's more of a reference storyboard, so it gives you most of the things that we're looking to capture, but we want a detailed shot for shot list with like the intended approximate sort of like lens choice, the shot type, is it on a tripod, gimbal, handheld, whatever it is. A lighting plan, so after we've done the site recce's, we'll put together a lighting plan to make it easy when we get on site. And then we've got some graphics that we need to create for the shoot as well. So it's just like so much stuff on top of what we're already working on this week. It's just, yeah. I was up very, very late last night. I've sort of scheduled it all out. I've had to reschedule other things to make it work, which is also a little bit of a shame, but it's okay. Not client work, like more internal stuff. Like we really want to create a slow motion show reel for our new free fly camera, but that's gonna have to be put on the back burner for a little bit. But yeah, my head is just full. And the tricky thing is, so for your reference, I'm involved in this project. I'll be on set. I'm involved heavily in the pre-production, not so much the post-production, but that's all great. I love being involved, and my true goal in this whole business, for me personally, is to be on set. Obviously, right now I'm assuming the role of the managing director, and I'm having to do all of the business side of it. But long term, the future goal would be to have someone in my place so that I can be more of a creative director or something along those lines. I just want to be on set. I started this many years ago as a freelance videographer because I love making videos and I love playing with cameras, and I don't intend to stop that anytime soon. I want to be on set doing stuff. But I understand that I need to do this right now, so that's fine. But what that means is I'm in charge of sales, I'm in charge of marketing, I'm in charge of making sure that the river of work doesn't stop flowing, and that means I need to be on top of that. And because I'm doing work all day on pre-production, or next week it'll be all day on shoot, I'm gonna have to do all night in order to keep on top of the rest of it. So like right now I've got 5 quotes I need to make this week, and I'm trying to squeeze those in. I've made promises to people that they'll have quotes by X time on X day, and stressed. But I'm not complaining. This is a great problem to have. Anyway, I'm gonna crack on. I need to start smashing through a quote before the team get here, because then we're going to be getting on with finishing the pre-visualization of this project. So, let's get on with it. After reviewing the previs yesterday, we've decided to reshoot some scenes. So the guys are now currently setting up the next set of shots.
Pass it. Maybe I should do something.
Action.
Pass it.
Welcome to Friday. It's time to go and recce some locations.
The light is up this end. Yeah, I think I could literally just come in here, do that first little bit perhaps, and almost like it starts just as they're coming through this arch here. So perhaps literally like from here, and then it'll be like bam, straight into it. They're kicking the ball on the concrete as they come through, and then yeah, they can do the standoff. I think it's nice.
Cool.
I think it'll work. I guess if it's on like a 35, it'd be quite close, quite tight. You just have that initial bit of them going, oh, cheers, mate.
Won't go that far, so it might just be just this bit. Yeah. It's nice, yeah, this is a good location actually.
No, that was good.
Like that works just because it would be like clearly that they've just left town. Back at the office now, and it's time for a coffee. It's Saturday and we're down in the kit room doing some prep for the week ahead with our massive project. Such a big project, in fact, that we are still, at the moment, Darren is currently working this weekend just to finish all of the fine-tuning bits of the pre-production. We just want to make sure that we're like 100% happy with everything before we go in, that the plan is just completely settled so that there's no questions on the day. But I am here because I have some unfinished business with these prime lenses that we were working on. If you watched last week's episode, you'll know that I was down here setting them up, adding the shims, making sure that they're all ready to be used on an EF mount. But I had a problem with some of the mounts where they just were manufactured and broken from factory, I suppose. They just wouldn't fit in the cameras. But the supplier has sent me some new ones, which are here, and I've tested them and they do work, which is amazing, which means I can get the last 3 lenses done and get them sorted, and then just a little bit more kit prep, and then we'll be ready for next week. A little bit nervous, but it's always the way I feel before a massive project, especially when it's just like, this one in particular is a little bit different. Massive projects in the past have always been well funded, and this one is I've said it before in this vlog, it's a very tight budget, and we are working with a smaller crew than we should be. There should be at least double the amount of people there, so we're having to juggle jobs, and that's why pre-production is so important. That's why we're putting so much time and effort into it, just to make sure that there is, like I say, no questions to be asked on the day, and we can just get in with a plan and do what we've planned. Obviously there'll be things that that will go wrong, or there'll be things that we have to shift the plan for, you know, like the location might not have this thing, the sun might be in the wrong angle, you know, there's things that we can't 100% guarantee will go to plan, but as long as you have a very good foundational plan, it should make the shoot days relatively okay. But anyway, let's get these lenses sorted and then crack on with the rest of the pre-production. all the lenses are finally shimmed and can finally be used, which is just in time for our big project next week. This episode has been a little bit of a strange one. Being totally honest, I've mentioned it throughout the week already multiple times, but this has been very, very stressful this week. Really hard to manage, and I've put in a very stupid amount of hours. And I'm a big advocate for telling people to manage their work-life balance and make sure that they are maintaining their physical and mental health. And I can't lie, mine has gone in the bin this week. In fact, this year, I've not really done any physical stuff. Obviously, I set that resolution to do 20 kilometers a month, and so far I am failing, which is not great. But yeah, I'm just having to fight and make sure that I'm keeping on top of work. And just, it's really, really, really tough at the minute. But this project has made this week really, really difficult because pre-production has been extremely heavy in a very, very short amount of time. You know, something like this should take about, I want to say minimum 3 weeks to put together with the size of team that I've got devoted to it. And we're having to do it in 1 week. And it's been a week of very, very late nights and very, very early starts. But I'm not complaining, it's a good opportunity to have, and it's going to be a really awesome project. Obviously, I can't really tell you guys too much about it still, which is annoying, but just know we're filming a full behind the scenes documentary, and you will find out all about it very, very soon. And obviously next week, you'll see some behind the scenes of the project. We just have to keep it relatively under wraps for now. Just as we've done with the pre-production this week, I haven't been able to tell you guys too much, and because I've been doing nothing but that, I've not been able to really vlog too much, but hopefully this episode was still good and hopefully it still gave you some value. Just know there's some very exciting stuff coming, and I'd love to show you guys it all. It's just gonna have to be when the right time comes. Rather excitingly, on Monday coming, we have some new pieces of kit arriving, and I know at the moment every week is like a new kit week, which is awesome. But yeah, we've got 2 new pieces coming which are directly involved with this project and those lenses that I've just done, which should be really cool and a nice little upgrade for us. And I'm actually very excited to have a play. I know as well, as a quick side note, I've been saying that we're gonna be doing a big project with the Freefly, the slow-mo camera. That is coming. Again, unfortunately, this week, the pre-production kind of has just got in the way of it, but it's coming and it's gonna be sick. We've done all of the planning. We've got all of the bits we need, made the right phone calls, booked the right locations. We're gonna make a awesome, like really cool slow motion show reel with some really fun stuff, and I can't wait to build that. So stay tuned, really cool episodes coming, and leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in next week's episode.